3 or 4 exercises that are nothing, you know, coming from the moon or anything, but it's pretty solid, typical style of exercises where you have to use to get going, and that should be present in most training sessions, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we have spoken about here, and also for really good players as Jürgen, you have to focus a lot on the basic things. The basic has to be there, otherwise your game is going to be very inconsistent. And also a good player like Jürgen, I mean, focus on basic things in his game. And the exercise itself is not always the most important. It's the way you make the exercise. So check carefully when Jürgen is making the exercise and compare what we have been speaking about. Distance to the table, position to the table, when does it play power, when does it play a little bit softer, the position with the racket. I mean, all these kind of things you have to update yourself every day.
And it's important also to find exercises with some kind of flow. I mean, that you not to construct too much, you know, 3, 4, 5 times over the table, to have that decision-making capacity as a player.
Yeah, I think this is also a very interesting point you say here. I think with 3, maybe maximum 4 different exercises, you cover maybe 80–90% of the game. So do these exercises very often. Be very consistent in this, build your self-confidence, and then with these exercises you cover a lot of your game.
Okay, let's move on. We have a guest today. It was very hard to get his schedule fixed, but you're back now from Korea, Japan, China, whatever, and you're still touring the world. Mr. Jürgen Persson. Picture as well, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel that I was 4 weeks away. I started with the Korea Open and China Open, and I finished in Japan. Yeah, so I can feel it. The body is little pain at the moment. Yes, I was wishing I was in your age, I must say.
If you remember back, was it worth it?
Yeah, every minute is worth it. Yeah. So without this table tennis, I would not know what I should do. Yeah, but I've been in your position also, so of course this training camp we didn't have yet, but it's fantastic when you can play with when you're in the same age and same players and on a high level. This will help you all the way. Yeah? And I had opportunity, like Eric said also, I came to China when I was 15 and could practice 1 month there, and that helped me a lot in my career because I noticed it's hard work, you cannot make some shortcuts. It's hard work. It was 6 days practice, yeah, and this helped me a lot.
Do you remember your first week or your first session? You were thinking, no, this is not gonna, I'm not gonna make it, or what?
Yeah, in the beginning, because China was they were the best in the world at that moment. So we got new players every day coming, yeah, and they killed you totally. So I thought this is gonna be hard, yeah. But then you took step by step. This month helped a lot, yeah. So you have to always think positive also. Of course, it's not always easy when you're tired, everything is hurting and they are killing you, yeah? But then, if you see it in a right way, you can learn a lot from the beginning. But one thing with the block, yeah, like it's also important when you're active. It means that he's pushing, but he also will make with overspin on the ball, yeah, topspin. So it means that as are working, I also have to look on the ball what is coming, yeah. If he makes little like this, of course the ball is bouncing a little quicker, so I have to be a little quicker.
And nowadays it's very, very common. I mean, you see most players or block or whatever, but they just top spin back. Has that been a difficult change for you to adjust to?
Yeah, of course it has been difficult because all players use topspin on the backhand side now, yeah. And it's a good shot also because the ball is bouncing very quick away from the table. So it means that you must be very powerful to take that ball. So a lot of players have developed it. And it also means when you are blocking, you should also do it. So you just not stand like this and blocking. You should be like Peter said, yeah, active. And that's why I also make this change that you can block free. And that should be overspin mostly. It's good to make it. But then it means that you're active.
Okay, a couple more shots. We look at those things with a little bit of over sometimes. There you go. and then shorter perhaps, and a good fast block, depends on how deep you can go in the table as well.
Normally you do not come that far away from the table.
And
so I make service, short service, which spin you want, it doesn't matter. And Peter play long to my backhand half, and that's also how he can use the flick or cut, or this new check flip, whatever all players are using now. He can use whatever he wants. I play backhand or forehand. It's my choice. It depends a little where the ball is coming, of course. And I'm playing that one diagonal. And then Peter should use this ball to make something good at that point. Yes. So he pushes or he makes this overspin, then it's free. Or he can play short to my forehand side. And if you play short, my goal is to make the flip free, then it's totally free. Or sometimes I play short back also, then it's also free. And the exercise also, I can always make long service, so he don't just wait for short service. The same there, try to make it as much as a game as possible. So I can use long service, so he always is ready.
okay, so there is a choice of service. You start short, he has the option of playing it down in his backhand or short forehand, and then there are some alternatives. Very good. Well, he's been right back from China and Japan now, so he's overpowering anything. I mean, I'm quite surprised that he's throwing some new services to you. I mean,
Yeah,
that's development.
I'm very surprised also. We played together for 20 years and he's coming up with totally new service. And I mean, Jürgen was not famous for the one with the good service, but maybe he has some new tricks for Olympics.
No videos now.
Almost, we have to send this video to China, and there's some, but because this is sensational. Check flip, they go in and they put the ball on the table very quickly. How do you, what counter things you can counter with in the service? Is there anything that you have thought of that might be more important now?
The thing is, I'm still working on it there because a lot of players are making it so good and the ball is coming so quick. So it's very difficult actually to step around. So I tried to develop, and that's what I'm working on for the Olympics, to develop my backhand. So it means it's very important that after the service, okay, I choose which service I'm making. If I make an overspin or a topspin service, of course, the other guy will probably flick here. So I'm trying to get out from the table a little. So I'm not, if I make my service, I try to come out little, so I'm not standing in here, because when you get this flip, it's very difficult to make something on that ball.
And how important is it to be very, I mean, today you can see there's a margin of maybe a couple of centimeters where you put the serve, or they will just go backhand or perhaps forehand from here. And how much do you like, you know, but it's also hard to move them into the table because then there's completely different angles on their backhand flicks.
Yeah, of course, but I try to think little how I want to make my service in I try to change the position of my service to short one, sometimes short to forehand, sometimes wide to backhand maybe, sometimes to the middle. Because if you make the service on the same point, you give the opponent a lot of chances to make what he wants. Yeah? So I try always to think, okay, I only have 2 services, and then it's the other guy who makes service. Yeah? But these 2 services, I try to change the position on the table, so he don't know that he also, of course, if I make service on the same spot all the time, he will get confidence with these things, what he's doing.
And that's also a difficult shot to do, though. I mean, the backhand. So there's a sense of.
Yeah, because players do it with, of course, if I do this, it's coming very quick, and Peter can make a service. But it's flick is the spin is coming like a banana, this way. So of course, if you want to step around, it's very easy that you come late. So that's why a lot of players try to play backhand instead with power. And often it means also that the ball is, with this flip, it's a lot of spin in the ball, so it's not jumping so high, it's jumping very low. So that means it's a very difficult shot also for me. Yes, Mitsutani have very good technique. He won Japan Open now, yeah? He have a very good service because he makes in the last movement with his wrist, yeah, he's using. So he have very good service. I think he have the best. Maybe also Ri Song-Ming have a fantastic service, also good technique at the moment. The Chinese have not the best service actually, so but they're good in the game. So. But these 2 have the best service.
And the Chinese always the borderline here, where you see the ball or not.
Yeah, they make it good, I mean, and they make a lot of this new service here.
Do you have a feeling something? Because I feel the returns are so good today with this backhand, with so quick short back that you really sometimes it's. Do you feel ever it's a disadvantage to service?
For me, it was always a disadvantage to service. But if I had a good service, I would have been winning a lot more.
And still you won.
Yeah, I'm still on. Yeah, I'm fighting with my service. No, but of course, players have developed the receiving, especially with this check flip. Yeah, what we were showing, Peter showed it and I try also. Yeah, and now, especially China have developed that a lot. Yeah, to make it like a weapon in the game. Yeah. Topspin is also, during the games, it happens quite often today that it ends up in topspin. So I have chosen to make a topspin where both sides go out from the table and we use a little more than the half again. But one side can change on these 10 minutes which you play, can change to a straight one. So you get active there also. And then after, if I'm changing straight, then it's free there also. So it means that Peter can use his backhand topspin back or just make a fishing there. It's his decision now.
Okay, go ahead. The balls are not the best today. But also notice I think the body support. It's a lot of physical movement to be able to, on this level here, keep the pace up. And you have to work to keep the highest point of contact. I hardly come back. Okay, very good. Well, what do we do now? That's a stop ball.